There are many lessons to be learned from Parsha Vayetzei, but I want to focus on one specific one that relates to me the most. The Parsha starts with Yaakov traveling to Haran. Once he arrives, he is greeted by his uncle Lavan, who is arguably the greatest Rasha in history. It would be common for someone to be influenced by such wickedness, but Yaakov, despite being around Lavan for 22 years, does not follow in his evil ways, but is rather able to become a better person. Now, it may seem confusing at first that Yaakov was able to become a better person while living with a Rasha, but I found a story that can really help us understand this idea. Rav Levi Yitzchak was a Chabad rabbi who lived in the Ukraine. One of the many things he did was raise funds to free Jewish prisoners. One day, after knocking on many doors and asking for money, he realized that he was not receiving much money and became frustrated. He wondered if he was wasting his time asking for money and should instead be spending his time at home learning Torah. He was then asked to visit a prisoner in jail who had been caught for stealing. When he met with the prisoner, he told him, "Look what troubles you have caused yourself by stealing. I hope this will be a lesson for you, so that when you are released from jail, you will not return to your evil ways. For you see, not only didn't you get to keep the money you stole, but you were also placed in jail." The thief replied, "That's all right. If I didn't succeed this time, I'll succeed next time." When Rav Levi Yitzchak heard this, he said to himself, if after all his suffering, this thief doesn't become discouraged and is still willing to steal again, then what right do I have to become discouraged to raise funds for the prisoners? Rav Levi Yitzchak was inspired by this prisoner. How could such a great rabbi be inspired by a criminal? We learn a very valuable lesson from this story. We can learn good even from the wicked. We can see this from Yaakov Avinu in this week's Parsha. Yaakov was around Lavan, a very wicked man, for many years. Despite this, he did not follow in Lavan's wicked ways. But he instead was able to improve himself. Not only didn't he follow Lavan's idol worshiper ways, but he was able to enhance his own avodas Hashem. How was this possible? How could one of our forefathers be inspired by such a Rasha? As I said before, we can learn good even from the wicked. Yaakov noticed that whenever Lavan was practicing deceit or avodah zarah, he did so with such excitement. When Yaakov saw this, he realized that he should too show great excitement when serving Hashem. Yaakov was inspired by Lavan. He was able to learn good even from one of the greatest Rashas in history. We should learn from Yaakov and apply this trait to our life. We should always see the best in things, even things which may seem bad. We should get the best out of every situation, even the tough ones. If you find your morning shir boring, focus on the fact that you are good friends with the guys in your shir and connect with the Rebbe. If your bed is uncomfy, be thankful for the fact that you have a bed and are not sleeping on the ground. If you are angry at someone, remember that they probably had good intentions. If you only like specific foods and don't like what's being served for lunch, instead of complaining, go to Pizza Fix and get pizza. If you have a hard time focusing on Gemara, take breaks every now and then. If you're bored at a tish, jump on the table, grab some water, and throw it at your peers. Be like Yaakov Avinu and always extract the good from everything you do or any situation you are in. If Yaakov Avinu can be inspired by Lavan, we can be inspired by anything. Shabbat Shalom.